Hi, I'm Gina Ventola, practice manager for Ventola Law. One of the best parts of my job is meeting with business owners. However, at times, it can be difficult to meet in person. That's why I started this show, to introduce you to local business owners in our community. Join me on Your Virtual Coffee, a new kind of networking. Hey everyone, welcome to Your Virtual Coffee, the web show which introduces you to great local businesses in the Denver metro area. My guest today is the amazing Ross Haymes. He is a business broker and certified business intermediary with Transworld Business Advisors, Rocky Mountain. He draws on decades worth of experience in corporate finance and entrepreneurship to guide buyers and sellers in the direction of their goals. During his successful 20-year career, Ross served as an economist before becoming investor relations director for a publicly traded company. In that role, he dealt with Wall Street analysts and money managers daily. Acquiring and running his own business gave Ross a hands-on understanding of the challenges that face a small business owner. In his current role at Transworld, he draws on his experience in finance and as a small business owner to work directly with entrepreneurs, guiding them step by step through the buying, growing, and selling of their companies. And with that, Ross, welcome to my show.
Well, good morning, Gina.
So, Ross, I like for our audience to kind of get to know my guest on a personal level to start with. Mm-hmm. Where are you from originally?
Well, I'm from the South, if you can't tell. I grew up in North Carolina.
Now, North Carolina, are you a Tar Heels fan?
No, I'm a sworn enemy of the Tar Heels. I'm a Demon Deacon from Wake Forest.
So you attended Wake Forest, and so you are not University of North Carolina fan. Gotcha. See, on this show, we always talk college football because I'm originally from Alabama. I love my Crimson Tide. So I'm
That's
always
a religion down there, right?
It is a religion down there. Now, you've had multiple careers. What about being a business broker intrigues you?
Well, the best thing I can say about it is it really draws on my entire experience, the financial end, and then the business ownership has really prepared me for working with business owners to help them make the exit of their business or grow their business, or working with potential buyers who want to become entrepreneurs.
Now, in your bio, you are listed as a certified business intermediary. What does it take to become that?
Well, it's a combination of things. First of all, you have to start with a college degree. Then you have to have experience in the trade as a business broker and close a certain number of deals. Then there's coursework, about 80 hours of classwork, and then you have to pass a 4-hour comprehensive exam. Most of it is focused on valuation of businesses. So we're not just sticking our finger in the wind and saying, this is probably a good price for this business. It's really very defined metrics that we use for setting prices.
Now, do you have webinars for business owners, for people who are either thinking about selling their business or buying a business?
We do a number of things. We have shifted to webinars about quarterly to identify to the business owner what it's like to sell the business, what the whole process is like. Funny story, we used to try to do in-person events for business owners who were selling their business, but nobody showed up because they didn't want to admit to anybody that they were going to sell their business. So we shifted to doing buyer presentations. So business owners would come and hear about how to buy a business because they wanted to know what the selling process was like, but didn't want to come out in the open yet.
I like that. Plus, it is sort of a secretive process, especially on the seller's end, because sometimes can't that impact the value of the business?
Yeah, the biggest reason probably to use a business broker instead of trying to sell a business yourself is confidentiality. It's tough to show a business that everybody knows that you own and maintain your confidentiality. So we can do that as a third party and not disclose the business until the buyers are properly vetted and have signed NDAs.
And NDAs for our audience are non-disclosure agreements.
Yes.
Would you share about the deal board?
The deal board is something I'd wish I'd had before I bought my first business. It's really just a good way to tap into the experience of some of the most knowledgeable people in our industry and learn about topics that are important to buying and running a business.
And that's found on, it's in podcast format, correct?
It's a podcast and we post it on LinkedIn every week. There's a new episode of the deal board. And if you subscribe to it, get notifications when the new episodes are posted.
So audience, if you have questions about buying or selling a business, this would be a good place to start, is to subscribe to the deal board. This is a podcast that Transworld Business Advisors Rocky Mountain puts out. Name an issue that keeps your client up at night. And Ross, how do you solve that issue?
Well, the biggest thing that keeps both the client and me up right now is finding financing and developing a great deal structure for both sides. We like to do a win-win situation where you have a buyer and seller, both are happy with the deal, but sometimes the best buyer for the business is not the one who has the most money. So we've got to find a way to bridge the gap between the two with various ways of financing, various ways of structuring the deal so it works for both parties.
And do you work with commercial lenders for that?
We have a number of lenders we work with, both bank and non-bank lenders, and then some alternative lenders as well for people who have less than perfect credit.
Ross, let's talk about power partners. And for our audience, power partners are those businesses who target the same ideal client, but they're not in competition with each other. For example, perhaps a business broker and maybe a commercial banker. They both want to help that business owner who is either buying or selling their business, but they're not competing with each other because they don't offer the same services. So with that being said, Ross, who's your ideal client?
Well, obviously our ideal client is a business owner, but finding them when they're ready to sell is sort of like a needle in a haystack search. So what we try to do is find power partners who are trusted advisors to business owners. And these are typically their CPAs, financial advisors, business bankers, relationship bankers are some of the key power partners for us.
I'm curious, would marketing companies also be, because maybe they know maybe a rebranding is possible?
That's not my experience. I mean,
Okay.
theoretically they could be, but they're more likely to work with somebody who has just acquired a business to improve their marketing.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. HR, PEO companies? Because usually,
same thing. Yeah.
okay, so you
I
get
haven't
them
found
kind of after.
they're they want to come in and people want to straighten out the business they bought, so they would hire these people. And I can give referrals in that case, but I don't get leads of business owners who want to sell from these people.
Gotcha. So CPAs, you said CPAs, financial planners, and I thought there was a third one.
A business relationship banker.
Business relationship banker. Okay. Well, what is the best way for these business owners who either want to buy or sell their business to reach out to you?
Well, I have a web domain that's easy to remember. It's bizbrokerross.com. That's BIZ brokerross.com. and all my contact information is on there. So instead of trying to remember my phone number or email address, just hit me up there and you can find everything you need.
And we will include slides in the end of the video that has your contact information, and we'll include also the link to your website. Any last thoughts?
One of my frustrations in this business is too often owners come to me at the last minute. And sometimes it's a life event that has forced their hand to sell before they had planned on it. So I'm encouraging the owners to start the conversation early. I want to sit down with them and talk about what the business transition looks like, what their exit could be, what things they could do to make the company more valuable when they sell, and just start the conversation so they have some idea of what's going to happen and can plan for it in advance.
Oh, I think that is really good, because sometimes those life events, they do sneak up on us, and we realize that kind of sets off a chain of events. So already having that relationship with a business broker as yourself could kind of mitigate that process, because you could put things in place to reduce the stress, reduce the suddenness of it. Well, Ross, thank you so much for coming on my show.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Gina. I appreciate the opportunity.
And thank you, audience, for joining us on your virtual coffee. We could not do this show without you. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. There should be a button right down there at the bottom. At Your Virtual Coffee, much like Ross, we love business owners. So let's talk. Bye, everybody. Your Virtual Coffee is sponsored by Ventola Law. Ventola Law, mediation and legal representation at an expert level. You can find them at ventolalaw.com. Thanks for joining me today. For more information on Your Virtual Coffee, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and wait for it, our website at yourvirtualcoffee.com. Thanks again for watching, and have an incredible day.